Mr. Speaker.
Alan Peachy.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sure that New Zealanders out there who've been listening and watching must be wondering, is that it? Is that all the opposition, the party that was in government for 9 years, has to offer in the great debate as to the economic future of New Zealand? I suppose New Zealanders could take one or two things out of this debate. One is, of course, they've had reaffirmed in their minds just how irrelevant the Green Party is to any debate on the future economic direction of New Zealand. But we knew that.
Not when it comes to lemon.
The other thing that they would have taken out of this, is the Labor Party has absolutely nothing to offer this country. The speakers opposite did not, for one moment, begin to acknowledge the serious, deep economic problems that they left this country when they were thrown out of office in 2008. Not for one moment did that party acknowledge that. Not for one moment has that party acknowledged the broad, wide, all-embracing approach that this government is taking to moving New Zealand forward, to moving us out of that stultifying, going nowhere sort of attitude that held us back for so long. And the contrast between that party and this government could not be more marked. As far back as 2002, there was no new net jobs in either agriculture or manufacturing in New Zealand.
Since when?
But since 2002. Unbelievable, 2002. And that party tried to hide that by building up the government sector. Because let me tell the House, Mr. Speaker, what did grow under Labor from 2002 onwards until 2008. And that great day when the people of New Zealand threw them out of office. This is what grew. First and foremost, the size of the government. And this government is committed to cutting back the role of the government in the state and putting the taxpayers' resources where they are most needed and where they will be most productive. Taxes rose. Many of us well remember the rush that the Labor government had in 2000 to put up the taxes of the people. And now the marginal tax rate, at a time when the government did not even need the money, and how much that money was squandered. Red tape, something else that the Labor Party specialises in, that this government is cutting away. Illiteracy rates, they rose under the Labor government. As early as 2005, that government, the Labor government, was being warned that a fifth of our children were not learning to read, to write, to do mathematics. That government was being warned as early as 2005. And frankly, if the last Labor Speaker, Mr Jones, wants to actually do something useful with his spare time, he might like to pop out to the lobby and have a look at a few Hansards. I'd suggest that he start November 2005, December 2005 and the early months of 2006. And in the index, he should look up the name Mahari and acquaint himself and share with his colleagues the spin that Mr Mahari put on that figure of over a fifth of New Zealand children not learning to read and write. The first explanation was, oh, no, that's not how it is at all. What it actually is a statement that a fifth of New Zealand children are not reaching their potential. Well, that didn't wash. So then he tried to float the figure of 11% of children not learning to read and write. That didn't wash either, if for no other reason than he was contradicting what his own officials were saying to him. At long last, Mr Speaker, New Zealand has a government which is determined to get to grips with the poor literacy and numeracy rates of this country, and that effort will underpin the economic recovery of this country. The effort of putting in trades academies, of widening the educational opportunity for children, of tightening up on the standards of university will pay off for the economy of this country.
Order.